Uh-oh, my brakes!
Ah, my brakes! Ah!
Oh.
Well, thanks to my helmet, I don't have a head injury.
Me neither, and thanks to these leggings, I haven't got any grazes. But on the downside, I think I've broken my arm.
Sounds like an injury alert.
So, what should you do with a broken arm? Should you A, run around the park screaming, "Ah, my arm's broken"? B, support it to stop it moving using your hand, some clothing or cushions? Or C, tell your teacher you won't be doing homework ever again?
You guessed it, the answer is B. Here's how it's done.
So Chris, put your arm against your body, gently as you can.
Really hurts if I move it.
And then what we can do is use Chris's jumper to support the arm itself. So if I go very gently, try not to move the arm. Now remember, we're showing you what to do in an emergency. Never do this on your own unless it is an emergency. Always try and find an adult. How's that? And can you now relax your arm?
Yeah, that feels much better.
Yeah, it's more comfortable, isn't it? So once he's feeling better, we can get him to hospital. He's going to be more comfortable when he's moving. We can get him x-rayed and see what's going on.
Do you know the average person's skin, when stretched out, can cover 2 square meters? So you'd better look after that skin of yours.
I don't know about you, but I absolutely love making things. But even in the safety of the classroom, there's still a lot of potential danger. For example, you could cut yourself on a piece of paper.
I don't think so, Chris.
Or you could end up covering yourself in glue.
Doesn't seem very likely.
Anyway, I'm finished.
So am I.
Or, finally, I guess you could make something so bad that your twin brother ends up laughing at you.
Ah! I'm going to tell the teacher. Oh, my head.
Uh-oh, looks like an injury alert.
So what should you do if you have a bleeding gash on your head? A, wrap 100 meters of toilet roll around your head. B, immediately do a zombie impression. Or C, apply pressure to stop the bleeding and then fetch an adult.
Issa, what's the answer?
C.
Why?
Because you need to put pressure so it stops bleeding.
Yes, Issa is absolutely right. Now, check this out.
So, I'm just gonna... What is going on up on top of that building? That's really weird. Ah! Son! You've cut your head!
Ah!
So, you know what we're going to do now? We're going to get a cloth. Now, if you don't have a tea towel, get one of your shirts. You can tear off a bit of shirt and press hard on the area that's bleeding. And then it stops bleeding and you get an adult.
Ah!
I'm trying to press hard with just my thumb on the one spot where he's bleeding. OK, so, do you guys want to have a go?
Yes! Ah, my head!
Remember, we're showing you what to do in an emergency, but it's always best to find an adult.
Quick, quick, quick! Put pressure.
That was very quick acting, Ragda. That was great.
I'd get my thumb in the tea towel and I'd press quite hard like that.
Do you think it's likely she might be feeling a bit faint? Yeah, so what should we do if she's feeling a bit faint?
Sit her down.
Do you want to sit down?
Yeah. Ow, ow, it hurts, ow.
What are we going to do now?
Call an ambulance.
No, ask for help.
Yeah, I think ask for help, ask for an adult. So that's it. If you have a bleeding gash on your head, use a piece of cloth or your shirt to apply pressure to stop the bleeding. Sit the patient down if they're feeling faint and tell an adult.
Did you know you carry around 5 litres of blood in your body all the time? It's one of the things that helps keep your organs warm.
Wow! And talking of keeping warm...
The British weather, it's so hard to predict. At the moment, the sun is shining and it's hot, hot, hot.
And I always like to be the first to break out the shorts and sun cream.
You've missed a bit. But you never know how long the sunshine is going to last. At any moment, the sun could go in.
Don't think so, Chris. It's actually quite a nice day.
And once the sun's gone in, it could start getting chilly, and that could be dangerous. At any moment, it could bucket down with rain.
Well, actually, Chris, I did bring an umbrella for that very eventuality.
And in this country, even on a day like today, it could hail.
Hail?
Which is why you should always pack an extra layer of dry clothes, isn't it, Xand? Xand? Uh-oh, Xand's gone pale and unresponsive. This looks like hypothermia.
So, what should you do if someone is really cold and you think they may have hypothermia? A. Use them as a giant ice cube in your drink. B. Call 999, warm the person by wrapping them in a blanket and give them warm drinks and chocolate. Or C. Enter them into a talent show as a novelty shivering act.
What does this lot think?
B. Wrap them in a blanket and call 999.
Emily's absolutely right. Have a look at this.
Let's sit you down. Now, how cold are you?
I'm freezing.
Are your lips blue?
Yeah, blue
I think
lips.
his lips blue. Yes, his lips are blue. Let's get you a blanket.
Also, we can give him a hot drink and chocolate bar.
Sometimes the person may even be confused.
So, do you know who you are?
I'm Dr. Chris.
Oh dear, looks like he's a bit confused and he's not going to be able to warm himself up, even with the blanket or with the tea. I think we need more help. Ring, ring. Ring, ring.
Emergency services, what's the problem?
I thought you were hypothermic.
I'm just doing the emergency services bit.
Oh, I see. OK. It's Dr. Chris here. I've got an emergency. I want the ambulance, please.
Oh, right. Whereabouts are you?
I'm at the Operation Out School.
We'll get an ambulance to you straight away.
Thank you. So now we'll just look after you, and if we can, we'll take off his wet clothes and move him indoors.
Who's up for treating someone with hypothermia?
They're keen.
Now remember, we're showing you what to do in an emergency, but it's always best to find an adult.
OK, so what else do you need to do now?
Get some hot cocoa
Hot cocoa
and some chocolate.
and chocolate bar. Lovely.
Do you know where you are? Library.
In the library. We're not in the library, are we? What do we want to do?
Call 999.
Yeah, I think you better do that.
So, if you think someone has hypothermia, you should warm the person by wrapping a blanket or towel around them and give them warm drinks and high-energy foods such as chocolate.
Xand, what are you doing? We've finished. You don't have to keep stuffing your face with chocolate. You haven't got hypothermia anymore.
Oh, right, OK. Ooh, look at that dog over there.
A dog? I want to see this. Nothing beats a spot of football in the park. Fresh air, aerobic exercise, and of course, the chance to show off those silky football skills, like the step over. Or the cry-off turn. Or the rainbow flick. But football can also be dangerous. You could turn sharply and twist an ankle.
I don't think so, Chris.
Well, you could injure yourself if someone tackled you.
Very unlikely in my case.
You could break your fifth metatarsal kicking the ball too hard.
My metatarsals are as hard as toughened steel.
All right, well, look, just be careful when we're playing. Now, Xandi, on me head, son!
That manoeuvre's known as the Chris Clonk, but it's also an injury alert.
Wow, Chris is very good at pretending to be knocked out, isn't he? So, what should you do if you think someone is unconscious and breathing? A. Tip their head back, check they are breathing, and roll them onto their side. B. Shout "wakey, wakey" really loudly. Or C. Lie down next to them and have a sleep, enjoying the peace and quiet.
The answer is A. Tip their head back, check their breathing, and roll them onto their side.
On a nice day like this, Xand and I like nothing more than going for a run.
We do!
But running in a park like this can be dangerous.
I don't think so, Chris.
You could trip on uneven ground and sprain an ankle.
Not me, Chris. I always keep my eyes on the ground ahead of me.
Well, you could be so busy looking at the ground that you run into someone else and injure them.
I don't think so, Chris. I'm very observant.
Or with a running style like Xand's, you could easily hit yourself in the face with your own arm. Everything all right, Xand?
Oh, yes, everything's fine. There's a big group of people over there, though.
Yeah, looks like there's someone on the ground having difficulty breathing. Do you think they're having an asthma attack?
Well, I don't know, but there's lots of people around, so we probably don't need to bother going over to check. Or do we?
Injury alert! Come on, Xand.
What should you do if someone is having an asthma attack?
A. Copy them so they don't feel alone.
B. Help them to sit comfortably and take their inhaler.
Or C. Use the time to practice your violin. The music might relax them. Or not.
The correct answer is B. Help them to sit comfortably and take their inhaler.
This is a rapid response vehicle and it's designed to get a paramedic to the scene of an emergency within minutes. On call with me today is paramedic Ben White. And we've just had a new call come in.
We've just been called to a lady's fallen over and she may have dislocated her shoulder. You've got a lot of blood vessels and nerves in the armpit. If the bone here at the top of the arm pops out of the socket, it can damage all those structures. So I've got my camera, so I'm going to take you as close as I can to the action.
We arrive on the scene in just under 3.5 minutes, and we find Maxine on her bathroom floor.
So what happened this morning?
Having a shower, just finished, turned off, stepped out the shower, whoops, on the floor.
Is it a constant pain, really, when you try and move it? Constant. Is it down here?
It's just all my shoulder, really.
All your shoulder?
Ben's assessing her to see if he thinks it's bruised or broken or if she's dislocated the joint. So if this bone at the top of the arm has actually come away from the other bone in the shoulder, it's in the wrong position. If that's the case, they can take it to hospital and just pop it back in with some painkillers.
What we'll do, get some pain relief out for you. Yeah. We'll see how we go on gas and air. Yeah. Might be that we need to pop a little needle in your hand, give you something a bit stronger. As well. No, you don't. If you just hold that, just take deep breaths for us. Take nice deep breaths on that might make...
Gas and air numbs the pain to make Maxine more comfortable while Ben checks her blood pressure. But she's still in a lot of pain, so Ben decides that Maxine needs to go to hospital for further checks, and in the meantime, he gives her some stronger painkillers through an injection.
And what's really good about this is it's not just going to make life nicer for Max, it's also going to help the doctors in hospital because reducing the pain reduces all the spasm in the shoulder, and that'll make it easier for them to treat Maxine.
So we can get Maxine down onto the ambulance where we can make her comfortable for a trip up to the hospital to get it x-rayed and get it sorted.
The medical team has arrived, and the crew make sure Maxine moves as little as possible as she makes her way to the ambulance.
So Max is on her way to hospital, and Ben arriving really quickly and giving really good pain relief. It'll make it much easier for the doctors to treat her.
With our job done here, we get ready for the next call-out. There are rapid response teams like this all over the UK, which means that expert medical care can be with you within minutes of a serious emergency.
Our first patient was expecting a normal day.
And now they've ended up in accident and emergency.
Let's see him get fixed.
This is Accident and Emergency in Manchester, the place for all medical mishaps. And what on earth's happened here?
Has he superglued his hands to his nose?
No, Xand, this is 8-year-old Max, and the problem is not with his nose.
A few minutes ago, I realised that my lip was all swollen.
Did he say he had a swollen lip?
Yes, look.
Ooh, it is swollen. But why are you holding it?
When it touches my teeth, it hurts.
It hurts if it touches your teeth, got it. So how did Max's lip end up so large? Well, it's all a bit of a mystery. Max was having a normal day. He'd been to school, like normal. And then afterwards he'd been swimming, like normal. And then he came home and had one of his favourite meals.
Meat pie. Yummy.
And then he sat down to watch his favourite cooking show.
This is making me hungry.
But just as they were getting to dessert, Max felt something funny going on with his lip. It started to tingle, and then it grew, and it grew, and it grew.
Ouch.
It really stung when it started going really big.
I bet. And with such strange swelling, let's open the case of Max's mystery mammoth mouth.
Has he had any allergic reactions in the past?
Yes, he's got allergies to peanuts and whitefish.
OK, and he's not had no nuts or anything near him?
So Max doesn't think he's eaten nuts or whitefish, which he's allergic to. But with symptoms like this, he's taking a medicine called antihistamine, just in case it is an allergic reaction.
Well, here's someone who can bust that lumpy lip. It's Dr. Sarah Syed.
So was it sore? Was it tingly?
Stinging.
It was stinging, was it? Okay. You feel like your throat was getting tight or anything?
No.
No.
Dr. Sarah needs to give Max a thorough examination to find out whether or not he's having an allergic reaction.
Oh, can you just say R for me?
If he is, the biggest concern is that it could get worse and cause his throat to swell up, making it hard to breathe.
Okay, is that sore at all?
No.
Okay, so there's no swelling at the back of your throat, which is really good.
Luckily, Max's throat and airways are clear. But what about his lip? Is it from an allergy?
It looks like some form of allergic reaction, okay? Just with there being this swelling and this tingling, it kind of all fits in with that picture.
The good news is that the antihistamine has started to work, and another 20 minutes later, Max's lip is looking smaller.
How are you feeling?
Better.
Yeah?
High five, antihistamine.
What exactly has made him have that allergic reaction is a little bit of a mystery. It seems like his immune system just responded quite strongly to something.
It might be that Max has developed a new allergy.
To try and find out, he'll return for an allergy test in a week's time.
Take care.
We'll be back later to find out how he gets on.
It's not just emergency teams in hospitals that are ready to help you.
I know! There are medical crews all over the country on standby 24/7.
We're on call with the UK Emergency Services, showing you what it's really like on the front line saving lives.
On call with me is paramedic Xand.
This is a state-of-the-art rapid response vehicle. It can get to the scene of a medical emergency in minutes. And I'm heading out in it to show you what it's like to be a life-saving paramedic.
Jan can take 10 to 15 emergency call-outs in a day, and a new case is just in.
We've had a 999 call to see a 32-year-old man who's got a rash and swelling in his mouth. Now, that sounds to me like an allergic reaction. So I've got my camera in the front, Eric has got his camera, and we're going to be getting you as close to the action as possible.
Only a couple of minutes later, and we arrive at our destination.
Hello, is it Alan? Take a seat, my name's Jan. What's the problem today?
I think I had like a reaction to something. Your tongue was swelling, the throat feels a bit
tight. Have your mouth wide as you can. Fantastic. So your tongue feels big in your mouth, does it?
Yeah, my ear feels quite tight.
Okay.
I was a bit short of breath, but...
Alan is experiencing something called anaphylactic shock, an extreme allergic reaction. Tigger and Sasha look concerned.
So is there anything that you're aware of that you're allergic to? Nothing that you know of?
Although Alan's being pretty brave, he has a life-threatening condition. His lips and tongue can swell, and that can cause problems with breathing and swallowing. So it's actually really important that Jan's here.
What I'll do is I'm going to give you an injection into your arm in a second with a drug called adrenaline.
Now, you may have heard of adrenaline. It's actually a hormone that your body makes. What it's doing in Alan's case is constricting the blood vessels in his tongue, in his lips, and will actually reduce that swelling. In cases like this, it can be life-saving.
I'm sending Alan in the hospital today just so that I can make sure his tongue doesn't swell again. So the drugs I've given only work for a short time.
How are you feeling, Alan? Do you feel like it's working?
Yeah, I do feel a little swelling's going down.
Yeah.
An ambulance has arrived to take Alan into hospital.
You'll be all right walking out, yeah?
Yeah, fine, yeah.
It's potentially a life-threatening problem that he had, and Jan's really fixed him up. You could see how much the swelling in his lips had gone down, and that happens all the way down his throat and into his lungs. So that's really, really good news, and they'll be able to treat him really well in hospital.
Your body is amazing, but sometimes it needs fixing.
All over the UK, there are special teams of professionals trained to tackle medical mysteries.
And some you might not expect.
All hospitals try and reduce stress, but this particular hospital calls on the services of a very special expert to do that. Someone with lots of blonde hair, bad breath, and a wet nose.
Meet Golden Retriever Nala. She's worked as a pet therapy dog for 14 years and is known at this hospital as Dr. Dog.
Animal therapy dogs like Nala need to be calm, obedient and really intelligent.
Not any old mutt can make the cut.
Two of Nala's biggest fans are Spike and his sister Poppy.
Spike has been in and out of hospital for most of his life. He and Nala have become good friends.
What's your favourite bit of Nala to stroke?
I've got two.
Go for it.
Her ears and her tummy.
And her tummy. How does it make you feel when you see Nala?
Happy.
And Poppy, how do you feel? Because you come into hospital a lot to see your younger brother.
Yeah, I think Nala helps you relax.
Nala, do you feel happy when you see Spike?
Yes!
Nala makes new friends every day. Harvey has just popped in for a checkup.
While you've been with Nala, have you been agonising about your appointment?
I've just been thinking about the dog, really. Dogs are, like, really cuddly, and they just look really cute.
Once you've petted her, we ask everyone to spray their hands.
Nala has a bottle of germ-busting gel attached to her collar.
Do you know why that's important?
You might get germs if you put your hand in your mouth. So you've got to wash your hands.
That is exactly right.
There's no doubt that this professional pooch can put a smile on your face, but can Nala really have a physical effect on a patient's health?
Well, let's put Dr. Dog to the test.
To help me, here's Miracle, who's in hospital having kidney dialysis treatment.
Can you explain to me how it all works?
The machine can clean my blood.
So the machine is taking the place of your kidneys, is that right? Mm-hmm. So what I want to do is, while you're having your dialysis, I want to measure your blood pressure. And then we're going to bring in Nala the dog, and we're going to see what happens to your blood pressure.
A blood pressure test is a simple way to check if a patient is stressed. Being stressed out can lead to high blood pressure, which means that your heart is under extra strain.
So Miracle, at the moment, your blood pressure is 116/67.
Those numbers mean Miracle's blood pressure is already within the normal range. But let's see if Nala can make Miracle even more relaxed.
After a few minutes of stroking our happy hound, we take Miracle's blood pressure again.
So Miracle, your blood pressure has gone from 116/67 to 105/59.
So although it's still within the normal range, her blood pressure has gone down, meaning Miracle is more relaxed and less stressed.
The science is clear. Not only does Nala make people smile, she also physically improves a patient's health.
For me, that is totally amazing that we can bring an animal in and just through affecting Miracle's mood, we can have a really big effect. Now, stress over a long time can be bad for your body, but dogs like Nala are amazing at relieving it. So every single person she's met today, including me, has had a little boost. I feel very relaxed. Thank you, Nala.